Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. So if you're new here, kindly subscribe and don't forget to turn on the notification button so that anytime I post a video, you'll be one of the first people to see it. To my returning subscribers, thank you so much for always coming here to watch my videos. Don't forget to like, share, and of course subscribe. Enjoy.
Okay, Abuja has been waiting like forever. Okay, so it's about time when we start today's interview. We have the ultimate. No, let me introduce him.
Oh, great.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we have the ultimate light-skinned boy.
Thank you for having me.
See his bedroom voice. Also, do you always talk like this?
Bedroom voice? No. This is let's just call it the extra professional voice. But no bedroom voice. No, at all, no.
Reminds me of the day you had the challenge, one of the sponsors of the show, where you had to talk about your tribe, where you did the Igbo chief.
Oh yeah, it was
Indomie,
exactly. Actually, yeah.
And so that was how you were talking, and you sounded like one of the chiefs from the east.
Once you have the Isha go on, you need to dig deep inside and bring out that part of you. So yeah, it was really nice.
All right, so we want to start. Want to move away from a lot of things we've talked about recently because you've vitally talked about almost everything. So, but let's start with the rave of the moment topic that everyone is talking about at the moment,
which is you out of the house, right?
Yes.
We'll get to talking about some national issues very, very much later on the show, right? But we'll start with talking about you. You get me? Like getting into the house. We'll start at that point. Getting into the house, did you have a strategy?
No, not at all. I felt I hadn't really watched the show, but then obviously I've heard about it and seen lots of clips. So for me, I just went with the word what it was, which is like a reality TV show. So I just went there, and I've said it a couple of times that I went there to leave my own reality on the show. So for me, no, there was no single strategy or plan, not at all. No.
Okay.
All right, so whilst you're in the house, a lot of people would say that the first person you got close to was Dorothy, right? And for some of the people who were watching from the outside, they thought there was going to be a thing. So was there a triangle or it was a straight line?
No, it's not nice that you use those words, because I remember using those words too when I was addressing the housemates. No, not at all. It was always a straight line for me. There wasn't any sort of triangle at all. The one person I always cared about and I have strong feelings for is Nengi. It wasn't no triangle at all between me and Dorothy. No.
All right, let's talk about the misconceptions about your personality. A lot of people have these misconceptions about who you are. So I want you to tell us, describe yourself, like your kind of person. Okay,
so your personality and most common misconception.
Yes.
Over one time, well, I think it was, I think I'm wrong, but maybe I'm correct as well. I think it was during Mandela's burial ceremony, and Obama said it's impossible to eulogize a man. So for me, I always say I'm just who I am, or who people saw. Like the person you see when you meet people, most times you could just try and look at people. Some people look at people and they try to say, okay, what are the negatives in that person, or what are the positives in that person? Me, when I see people, I like to take the positives first. Obviously you take the negatives, but then you wait and you take from it whatever you will. But me personally, I grew up in a family where we were really, really protected by my parents. We were shown so much love, care, affection, and the foundation of our upbringing was everything was based on humility. So for me, humility is like a strong core value of myself, and loyalty to people that are around me, and it's something that I feel like is really, really important. So for me, my life was always based on family, friends, loyalty, and humility. Those are the things.
Do you feel people don't understand you as much?
I don't know. Because the thing is, I always say in life, who you are, people know, like even in a single family, you never have a family where every single child, the parents included, would share the same traits. Like it just wouldn't happen. So I think maybe on TV people saw someone or saw something that to them at that point felt maybe a first for most of them. So that's why people probably didn't get to like, okay, why is he this way, And maybe that's just how life is. Sometimes we see something for the first time, or we see something that we feel that is unique, and we start to question the uniqueness of why that situation is like that, or why that person is that way. But no, for me, things like that don't worry me at all, because like I said, who you are, you are. You can't change your personality for people. You just can't.
Now, many people thought you were very, very persistent, you know, trying to get Nengi. And I have this question, perhaps asked a lot of times. What was the attraction for you? What got you very close to her?
Oh, she's I mean, everyone has even seen, even with all her media rounds and stuff, she's a very smart, intelligent lady. She's strong. She has a very positive mindset, you know. And as human beings in general in life, and for me personally, I'm someone that I'll always get attracted to people with a positive mindset, you know. And she's someone, she talked about it, she came on the show for like a very important reason. She wants to become independent, and she talked about the whole independent Nengi thing going on. And yeah, you would respect someone like that, you know, someone from, you know, her story, and you know that she wants to do things in a positive way, in a very, and she, yeah, like I said, she knows what she wants. So for me, definitely, I'll definitely get attracted to someone like that, and for me, there's no shame at all in that situation.
At the final party, it was said that, oh, you had ignored her, and she was crying that night. She said a lot. What happened really? Was it some people who had told you, oh, ignore Nengi? What happened?
No, like me and her, we spoke about it even before, while we're together in the house. We said, when we leave here, there's always going to be lots of negatives, but one thing we can't do is we can never let public perception take anything away from what both of us have, you know. So I felt, and she herself, she explained it, she thought that at that point public perception had gotten to me.
Yes.
Since I was outside the house, but no, it was just directives were given, because at that point I took it for what it was. But no, she knows that for me.
You're cool now?
Yeah, no, because at that point, even when she was crying, I was like, okay, by tomorrow she's going to understand.
Yeah.
And she'll know that public perception wasn't going to change.
Is there a future?
Me now, I'm in Abuja, she's in Lagos. She's trying to, she's pushing with her brand and everything. For me, I'm doing the same.
Yeah.
But me and her, like I said, will always stay loyal to each other. And yeah, time will tell how the friendship will grow. But me and her, like, forever, till we leave this earth, definitely.
So you guys are cool right now outside the house?
Yeah, extremely.
Great stuff.
All right, so let's talk about your clothing line. I know when you got out, you saw the name Fit by Ozo and Fit Like Ozo, and there are a lot of people that came together to make that a success. And I heard before now you've had a clothing line, you've had that on the pipeline coming up. So I wanted to know if this was the name you've always wanted to, the flow name. Are you comfortable with it? You know, for you.
I mean, like I had my close friend and I, Benji, we've always had STEMI.
Okay.
So Benji and I were like best friends, to be honest.
Fantastic.
Like, me and him, we went to uni together, bachelor's degree, masters as well. And yeah, we had STEMI. Now coming out and seeing the great job Amadi Tega Ola did. And they put this thing together with my sister as well, Dalo.
Yes.
And yeah, I'll stick with it, you know, because it's just like if someone gives you a gift, you don't throw gifts away, you know. So for me, this is like a gift from them to me. So I would it's not something I wouldn't look. I mean, Flo has a nice. I was going to say Flo has a nice flow to it, but it has a nice ring to it as well. So now I'm definitely going to keep it that way.
Okay, so I'm also going to talk about your love for sports. You've talked about it a lot of time. I feel like everyone who knows you now should know that Ozo is attached to sports. Even a blind man should know that, right? At this point. So, but you know, sports is your dreams are very broad. Sometimes I get scared on your behalf, really, because you have a lot of things you want to achieve, and there are necessary steps you need to take to get to that point where you really want to be. So I want to talk about the first step, which you really haven't really talked about. You talked about you being FIFA president. You talked about
I think you know about that. Not all of us know. So tell us about your sports dream and the plan moving forward.
I mean, main, like, that's a final goal. I won't call it a final goal because it's like I'm limiting myself, but a very important one for me is to become FIFA president. That one I've always reiterated that fact a whole lot now. But the first step is going I'm not someone that'll say, okay, I'm just going to snap my fingers and then I'm going to change the world. One man can't change the world, you know. The only thing one man can do is to bring up, raise the topic, meet the right people, work with the right people, and then together we could make a change. And that's just what I want to do. So for me now, especially now and also being in Abuja as well, is to meet the right people, drive the message in. Because it's different. It's one thing for us saying, okay, yes, we're going to do it, but yes, but then the after yes needs to be, but we're also going to be dedicated to make sure we see it to the end. And that's like what the first major step is now, is meeting the right people, narrowing down, okay, these are the people that have been met, this is what we're coming down to now, and then let's dedicate ourselves to making sure that we see and we make sure we impute like a sports structure in our country.
Nice.
If you look at football in Nigeria, really, I mean, you've had something will be needed, do you understand, in terms of technical advice as to how we can become perhaps number one again in Africa.
Fantastic.
If you had an opportunity to meet with the NFF president, perhaps before the end of your visit in Abuja, what's the two things you'd mention to him as to how we can improve in regards to football in Nigeria?
Two things would be, I always talk about sports education, or football education in this case. Let's call it football education. And then another one is going to be talent development and talent identification. So for football education, I always gave that whole instance of, if we have degree courses like football finance, football management, football business as well, like you have in the West, you'd have people that already have the basics and understand the tools, what they need to excel in, let's say, in a federation level, coming to work there. So wouldn't you rather have someone that studied football finance, or would you have someone that just studied, let's say, finance, working as the federation finance, in charge of the finance department or whatever it is? So that way, what I want to make sure we have is to make sure that people that are going to get into those positions understand what's needed to be there. So that way you're not learning on the job. Because now we have people like myself that studied economics or business financial management or different other courses working there. Not like they're not doing good jobs, they really are. But then most times you have to learn on the job. But you have someone that knows the basics, and that person really isn't learning on the job. The person is just trying to make sure they push the whole thing forward. And then on the talent identification part has to do with improving scouting, understanding what type of players are we going to scout, understanding how we need to have our 3 cycles, macro cycle, mesocycle, and micro cycle. The macro cycle, you have the coaching syllabus. The mesocycle, you have the individual coaching sessions as well. So you have all your 3 cycles. All the 3 cycles are predicated on a defined football philosophy. So until you get these things in place, then we're going to keep running around in circles. That's just what we're just going to keep doing.
Sounds really amazing. I hope that the Minister of Youth and Sports is listening at this time, and we should set up a meeting to tell them about this. But looking at Nigeria, I want to say, I mean, on the day of the what was that again? The first day you guys got into the house, the entry, right? You were the first housemates to get into the house. And then I mean, listening to your profile, it said first class economics graduate.
How do you
okay, you talk about that, like she's asked, how did that come about?
Yes.
And then looking at our Nigerian economy, what role can you play to make sure that?
Yeah, but that's it. So the role I'm trying to play now is, if we have like even when Leiko and I did the Make a Difference task from Betway, improving the economy, you could do it by improving the sports sector. You improve the sports sector, you're going to create more jobs for people. Not everyone needs to have a 9 to 5. Not everyone, you could have, if you develop the talents here better, you're going to give them a better opportunity for maybe some of them who are willing to maybe move to the West and earn more and still create more jobs here for themselves, their family members, for the society, and help fight societal problems. So that's helping the economy as well. So my dream and my own way of trying to help the economy is through the sports. It's through the sports industry. That's just how it is for me.
But I mean, the CBN now devalued the naira, and we've seen that has consistently, taken that trajectory in the past months. How would you advise, for instance, for us to keep our naira at par with the dollar?
So when you have to look at the state of the economy first.
Okay. So
for you to have a strong currency, then we need to look at what's the state of your economy like. you know. So the moment the economy is still having a downturn, then your currency is also still going to have a downturn as well. You know, that's the reality of how it works in the economy sector.
All right, great.
All right. So also, are you moving to Lagos or are you going to move to Abuja? Which one?
Right now we're still working to see where home is going to be. You know, because for me now, like it's all about being in the right place, and I'm realistic. I know that to achieve everything I want to achieve, I'm not just going to have to stay in one single place, you know. So I'm definitely going to maybe have home in a certain place, but then be willing be willing to move all over to be able to achieve this dream.
Okay, so I want to talk about the blanket haste that happened in the house. Have you guys found out other housemates?
No, they have, because we did that thing. Okay, so I had that idea like week 1.
Yeah.
I remember asking people, like, could we do
Frank.
Yeah, Frank, and he was like, okay, cool. But then it got to up onto that week, and we took all the pillowcases.
Yes.
And then we now had housemates saying they had no problem. We can all still sleep without pillows.
Yes.
We now said, okay, cool. Let's take everything. So it was mainly planned with me, Nengi, and Neo that planned it, and then Neo helped us like take all the blankets and hide them. So yeah, I'm pretty sure now all of them know it was 3 of us that planned that thing.
So everyone now knows. No one has confronted you guys.
No, everyone, no, they're all cool. And the scary thing is, when they were asking that night, I kept like a very
oh my god, I was like,
face.
this guy.
Like, I have no idea what you guys are talking about. Like, there's no way it was me.
Yeah.
But no, I'm pretty sure by now they all know that we're the ones.
Okay, so let's look at all the housemates. Like, you were very cool with Neo. You were also cool with Nengi. Like, looking at all of them now, is there any, amongst all of the housemates, is there anyone you were not so cool with in the house that you're very cool with right now?
No. I just said, like, 19, I went there, met 19 great people.
Yes.
You know? We all have, like, our different, what would I call it?
Personalities?
Different personalities, exactly. But then, I'm really cool with all 19 of them. No one among the 19 of them will come out and say, like, oh, like, Oza did something horrible to me or anything. I mean, like, it's not like a lie or anything that, of course, I was closest to Nengi, you know?
Yes.
I've talked about the
that a couple of
reasons.
times, yeah.
So she for me is like, if I had to put like a pyramid, you know?
Yeah.
You always put her apart from everyone else. But
true.
listen, like, I met like 19 great people there, and there's no single one person.
But you're quite close to Wathoni.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Now Wathoni always called me seductive eyes when we're in the house.
Yes,
so
yes.
yeah, that situation was kind of Wathoni and I's thing.
Okay, so I want to talk about the jacuzzi rocking that Nengi did that, you know, upturned the whole social media. A lot of people were talking about it. But Leko, what do you have to think about her dancing technique with Leko? And, you know, a lot of people talk that would definitely get to you. But what do you have to say about the way she normally dances with Leko? I mean,
from week 1,
yeah,
she and Leko have always danced that way.
Yes,
you know?
you're hearing it.
So they've always danced that way for since week 1. So like I remember that because that time I wasn't in the house anymore, and by the time I got up the next day, like people were like tagging me on
I can imagine
on so many things.
Yes.
I had to thought to myself because I think 2 weeks before I left,
I
was teasing Leko. I was like, guy, Leko is like, once there's alcohol in your system, you just start looking for where Nengi is. You know? And I was trying to tell him, I was like, gee, like, well, what's all about that whole thing? But no, it's both of them have always danced that way since like week 1.
All right. So, and I also want to mention that your Zone Shippers are one of the strongest fan base this season, and as well, they are very stubborn. They are passionate as well, and also they are very, very persistent people. Even when they felt like the ship was going to crash, they were still there. And you know, a few days ago, Nengi was talking about the name. Actually, are you very cool with the name? And I know they're also planning something very sure about that for the both of you. Are you cool with your zone name, or are you also like, let's change it to something else?
No, I mean, at this point, me and her were like, okay, fine. Let's just, how would I put it? Like, the name is there now. So, because it was at an interview that we were doing, and I think they asked me, it was a multi-choice interview, and they asked me about the name, and I was like, like, I'm not really sure about it, you know? But no, like, at this point with me and her, I feel like our relationship we're really cool now. Like, extremely cool.
Like, really, really, extremely cool. Okay.
Yeah, so,
yes.
we're just at this point. I know she's wherever she's now, rooting for me to excel in my career, and for me, I'm definitely doing the same for her as well.
Okay, so I want to talk about two things. For those who are watching from the outside, especially for the guys, they would be like, first, why is he so attached to Nengi? That there was a point you should have, withdrawn. That's one. The second is you wore a lot of shorts and durag as well. What's about all that?
With the shorts and durag, the shorts, like I call them.
Oh, shorts.
Yeah, they've always been my thing. So when I was doing my masters, it was during the summer it gets really hot, so I just felt really comfortable wearing shorts, and it just became my thing basically. The durag was Neo that actually introduced me to the durag when I came into the house.
Noticed you went
because like first 1 week I didn't wear durag
at all,
and then I started wearing durags, and then the people in the house were like, "Guy, why were you not doing this thing since week 1?" So that's how like the durags became my thing. So even like with Flow now, with the brand, we focused a whole lot on shorts and durags as well, things that were synonymous with me when I was in the house, So yeah, that's just how that one was. On the other question, no, like I said, you meet a human being that is that positive, yeah, like you definitely get attracted to someone.
Now for Flow, is that an official launch, or are you going to do something to let everybody know that I have a brand out there?
No, eventually we will. I mean, now like I'm wearing the t-shirt now, but it's as time goes on, the more we settle and what we get, like most of the media rounds out of the way. And we're definitely going to have to do something really official for sure.
So let's squeeze in some of the questions we're getting on WhatsApp.
Okay.
Lawrence in Kubwa says, "Good morning, Victor and Blossom. My question to Ozo is, did you come to the house with the mindset of winning the prize money or living the show with a wife material? Because at a point in the show, Ozo was looking like he's found his long-awaited wife."
No, you see, I said there's that whole idea that, oh yeah, like also you came and then you got distracted, and for me it's I feel like it's not to insult anyone, but it feels like a dumb question people ask, because I always say if I was distracted, then Nengi and I were together almost from week 1. Yes, there were periods where we're not really talking, but then like I still won a whole lot, she won a whole lot as well on the show, so there was no form of distraction there. Like everyone came there to win, she came there to win, I came there to win as well. So no, there was no distraction at all. No.
All right, so moving forward also, there are a lot of people that come out of Big Brother, and in a few times or in a few moments their fame will just fizzle out all of a sudden. So what do you have to tell someone who wants to audition next year? Because you've been through this process, you've seen the way it is, and you're currently in the process. And my questions are actually two. What do you have to tell someone who's going to audition next year? And as well, how are you going to merge the competition? Like, the competition is going to be mad. It hasn't even started yet. Because a lot of people are going to make sure that, okay, what is he doing? How is he doing this? This other person is doing this. Why is also not doing this? Really? Okay, so questions like that are going to come up pretty soon. How are you going to measure, take care of the pressure, the competitions coming up? And as well, if you have someone who's going to audition next year, what are you going to tell the person?
No, it's just the person. Everyone needs to understand that fame can be really fickle at times, So it's one thing you need to stay true to yourself. Ask yourself what kind of person like am I in the first place? Who do I want to be? Where do I want to take myself after being there, after being on the show? So you stay true to yourself, and as long as you're true to yourself, nothing will ever bother you. And you should also understand that it's never about how much social media following you get, and the same way it's never about how much negativity you're going to get. It's all about you holding on to the positive things that you have. If you're able to hold on to the positive things, then everything will be smooth sailing for you. That's just how I see it. So for me now, personally, how I'm thinking it is, I'm holding on to the positive things, putting my head down, making sure that don't ever see people coming to see you and feel like you're more than them, because that's where you start to lose it. When you start seeing yourself like, okay, like I'm the king of the world, like no, just don't do that. Just stay true to yourself, and as long as you're true to yourself, then you will be fine. If you're going to be on the show, don't go with any strategy, because for me, been able to be there for 9 weeks, even when I got out that 9th week, I didn't feel any type of way because I know that I enjoyed myself. And
people cried, right?
Yeah, I know. And for me, I knew that I was able to leave my reality on the show. But if you go there with a game plan and you get evicted week 1 or week 2, then that's when you're going to be like, okay, maybe I should have been myself. So to anyone that's going to want to audition, just go there. Because during the auditions, you're yourself. You're who you are during the whole audition period. So why do you want to go into the house and do anything differently?
All right. So the pressure, how are you going to handle it right now?
For me, I'd say that I don't feel any pressure, to be honest. I really don't. Because I feel like I'm still the same person that I've been. Yes, like things have changed. Like walking out and then people taking time out of their day to come and see you or to take pictures with you. That part of my life has changed, you know. But then I'm still the same person I've always been. So for me, like there is no pressure. I just want to stay true to myself and go on the pathway to achieve the main reason I went on that platform for.
We need to bring the listeners into the conversation, but quickly, do you have plans to act, model, all the things all the other stars do?
And entertainment, I've always been interested with like the whole presenting thing or voiceovers, you know.
Great.
I've really loved doing those. So then fashion for me like is broad, you know. So anything, I've always said sports, entertainment, fashion. These are like my 3 main areas right now.
Okay, so sports, entertainment, fashion.
Yes.
Do you reply your messages yourself on social media? The DMs?
The DMs. Sometimes actually. So if let's say now I'm having an interview and something really important comes up, then that means I can't do it, you know. But no, definitely most sometimes I would.
What's the weirdest message you've gotten in your DM?
Weirdest I'll say I've seen is just back to the same old stuff of got distracted when you were in the house. Yeah, that's just the weirdest one I think I've seen.
All right, let's bring our listeners into the conversation right now. Take a few calls before we let our guests run. 0817 8000947 0901 0947 777. All right, join the conversation right now. You can keep sending your messages to us via our WhatsApp portal. Of course, the WhatsApp number 0817 8000947. The WhatsApp messages are just so many. The first caller now. Good morning. Hello. Can you speak up a bit?
Alright, we want to call back because it's not audible.
Yeah, we can barely hear whatever he's saying. So we'll take more calls. We can barely hear you.
Okay, go ahead. We can hear you. Go ahead.
I'm so sorry, you might have to call us back. We're struggling to hear you. Well, too many calls trying to come in at the same time. But we see that Glory in Gwarimpa says, good morning, sir. Purple and Madam Blossom. Also, I'd like to meet you face to face.
Dog noise as well.
Hello? Loud and clear. Tell us your name and location.
Yeah, my name is Nengi. I am a South civilian and I am happy to hear all the voice and the studio.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ozo. Thank you for being you. We appreciate you. That's our life for today.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you for keeping it positive.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
More calls now. Good morning.
Hello?
Good morning. What's your name? Tell us your name and location first.
Okay, my name is Amela. I'm calling from Owerri.
Oh, wow. Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I guess you're joining us online.
Yes, I'm watching it online. I want to say thank you to Glozum.
Thank you.
Yes, my question is, although I don't even know what to say.
Just say anything.
And I'm saying thank you to Glozum. I love your energy, Glozum. We love you all.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Let's see if we can squeeze in some other calls. Oh my goodness, the love is massive. Really amazing. Good morning. Please speak up a bit. Tell us your name and location. All right, Chama in Enugu, please go ahead.
Thank you.
And I feel like we should start asking all the more of FIFA and more of the sport. I love Nengi, yeah, but I think the whole Nengi thing is too much now, and I feel like we should ask more of FIFA, more of the sport, because one way or the other, that's what's going to help our country and young ones here in Nigeria. We love relationship, yeah, but then more important is which is what all that stands for is the sport and the FIFA. So I think we should push it more in the questions and we talk about sport. And yes, and I also feel like everybody should go and get sit like other.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much for your call. Let's see if we can squeeze in 2 more calls and wrap up the conversation now. Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Tell us your name first.
Morning.
That's so insignificant.
Say your name again.
Okay.
Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from.
Okay.
We didn't get that part.
I'm calling from Lagos State.
Go ahead.
Great,
Go
great,
ahead.
Go ahead.
Ozo is
Ozo is
hearing
listening.
you.
I'm here, I can hear you. Okay, but again, now you can talk to me now. I'm listening. Sorry, I haven't seen the emails.
You see what I was talking about? Okay, no problem. I'm sure he'll sort that one out.
I'll definitely do that. Thank you.
Let's take more calls. Hello?
We don't have time.
Okay, we're wrapping up the show now.
Yeah.
You're going to be our last caller. Femi, great to have you on the show.
Yeah, hello.
Alright, are you still keeping tabs with the housemates? That's what he means.
No, definitely. I mean, we've all been meeting in lots of the get-togethers we've been doing, so it's been important. And I also want to use this opportunity to say, especially in light of everything that's been happening with the whole police brutality, it's something that me, myself, having what I'll call a platform now, is important for people like myself and all the other housemates like myself as well have been doing, especially since yesterday, to shed light on these issues, and things like these are things that we need to take out of our society, because most of us would want to run away because we don't want to experience things like this. So it's important for the federal government to listen to us, and like I said, not just coming out with statements and saying yes, but it's also, are we going to dedicate ourselves to making sure that we stamp things like this out of our society. I feel like it's paramount that we do things like this for sure.
All right, you made a statement that is different from what every other person is saying. I think your statement was totally different from the NSAS and police brutality and all of that. Yours was totally different, and it trended all throughout. All right, and it's nice that we want to hear you say it again here live on radio.
What's your position on NSAS and police brutality?
NSAS, yes.
Like I said, with my statements is, it's something that it makes everyone's stomach turn. Can you imagine if your young son is going out, and you as a parent, you're worried because you don't know if he's going to come back? That's one thing no Nigerian mother should go through. That's one thing no Nigerian dad should go through. Nigerian dads should see their young boys go out and come back home safely. They shouldn't see their young boys go out and then come back with stories being told about their lives. And like they always tell us, the dead can't tell a story. So they can't really tell us this story of what exactly happened. So as long as we make sure that our police department is not trigger happy, you know, then we're going to be able to keep most of our young people safe, because some of all these young lives we're losing are people that maybe have a very positive mindset to helping us change the future and the trajectory of how our country is going. And we shouldn't let these people continuously lose their lives. So I think it's important that the federal government not just say yes, that we would, but dedicate ourselves to make sure that we stamp this thing out of the society.
All right, so
we must thank you very much for being a part of the show. Very sincere apologies to all the callers. We must apologize. We have to bring you the news at 12 noon. We can't take any further calls. We sincerely apologize. A lot of messages here, but this is going to be the last one. Francisca says, also, I'm in life camp. It's good to have you here in Abuja. We hope to see you someday. We love you.
Thank you very much.
A lot of messages, but we can't take all of them
so
again.
So it's very evident that Abuja loves Ozo.
Thank you. I love Abuja as well. I love every single one here too.
Yeah.
To all the fans, I'm always going to be grateful. I'll never be able to thank you all enough. The Superior fan base, you guys are the best. And I'm going to keep loving you all, and I'll do my best to keep making everyone proud.
Alright, so we've come to the end of the show today. A big shout out to everyone who joined in from 6 o'clock today.
Yes,
it's
till
been
12.
Till 12. It's been a fantastic time on the show.
Let's give a shout out to those watching online.
Yes, a lot of people are watching
Also,
online.
greet them.
A big shout out to all of you.
I'd like to tell thank you to everyone watching online. Thank you for coming on, and thank you for bearing with us the whole time.
Alright, Aldina is on standby for the news. He's already looking at us, winking. Will you guys leave the studio? Alright, so he's bringing the news at 12, and it's been an amazing time on the show. My name is Blossom Martins.
My name is Victor Purple. Thank you very much, Ozo, for being a part of the show today.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
So people are saying Ozo should dance for them. Please, Ozo, you have to give... So, what happened?
The volume is...
Just reduce it.
Alright, thank you guys for joining in. He said he's not in the mood to dance.
I am. No. I think for everyone that's in the dance is just one. It's the same thing the whole time.
Also, look at this song now. Oh. How is the song doing like this?
It's volume. It's volume.
Aww.
Thank you.
My
name is DJ OJ. I work here.
Oh, nice to meet you.
Hey.
I'm proud of you. Abuja, I'm just proud of you.
Give us one small step.
Just one small step. Just shake your butt. Hey.